Studio Galaxy 473 operating in Confer. And once again, we're back with the second part of our program. And this section is pure politics. And with us on the Galaxy Equalizer today is Master Carl and your humble servant, Francis Spear. And we always encourage you to subscribe to our program. Help us grow the program. Subscribe, share, and like the program. Tell your friends about it. Even if you don't like the program so much, see if your friends don't like it. Share it with them. If they don't have it, they wouldn't know. On this program, we provoke quite a lot of discussion where politics is concerned. Remember, Grenada is a democratic country. Too many times, people sung disappointed with the leaders because they refuse to ask questions. So today we are addressing NDCites, NDC members, and we're asking you the question, NDC, do you agree with the actions of NDC? 2.5 years in any government is a threshold. When you reach 2.5 years, the die is scarce. What you do in the first 2.5 years could leave to haunt you. It could determine your destiny. Because you have a political party that historically the die cast for them in the first 2 years. After the first 2 years of NDC, people want to get rid of NDC with a race. So I'm asking the question today, NDC members, NDC politicos, NDC apologists, NDC sympathizers, do you agree with NDC actions? Sometimes you don't leave your political party because you don't agree with some things that your political party do. You don't leave a good political party because you personally didn't get what you get. You don't do that. So the question is not to, I'm not asking you to leave your political party. I'm just asking you if you agree with the actions of NDC. Are you comfortable with NDC so far? Could you watch people in the eyes and defend NDC? I remember Scholar very early between 2008, 2013 say we can't defend you. At that time, Mr. Tillman Thomas, the then Prime Minister of the country, was calling on the NDC members to defend NDC. And Scholar say, we can't defend you. What you're doing is unacceptable. We support you, but we can't defend you. We see almost a rehash, a replay of the same things in the country. You have to be able to defend the political party. If you're in a church and you can't defend the church, you can't defend the actions of the church, then you're more likely to leave the church. If you're in a political party and that political party is embarrassing you, it challenges your morality. It challenges your very being. You have to bend your head in shame when people speaking about the actions of the political party. That time, you are at a crossroad. So the question is addressed to members of the NDC. I notice on social media, some NDC members, they are unable to answer simple questions that you ask them about the political party. And they're getting very violent. They're using obscenities worse than Deacon. And they're attacking you personally. So, Massacre, this morning I'm asking the question to NDC members, the NDC politicos, the NDC apologists, the NDC people who are attacking everybody personally on social media. Are you comfortable?
Or satisfied?
Well, I don't even say satisfied. I'm going small. Are you comfortable? Do you agree with the actions of NDC? Massacre, that is a legitimate question you're supposed to ask.
Not only that is a question that must be answered, not only asked, must be answered. Morning to all the listeners and well-wishers and those critics. We welcome the critics too, because we could take on anybody senior. We're not afraid. We dare them to call. You said when you speak to NDC politicos, they get in vex. Now, I'll say this. Raphael Fletcher once said, anytime you're in a discussion with a man and hear the volume go up, that means the argument weak. The fact that they're attacking people, they cannot defend the progress of this government. And I think tomorrow is convention. And when you hear they making talk about convention and saying Wagiti want to sabotage the convention, you have to know the thing weak. What you ask the question of them again?
Do you agree? Are you comfortable with the actions of NDC?
Because if you're quarreling with Wagiti over convention, but when NNP had convention, Wagiti had bingo too, and you didn't hear in this thing. And the one that behooves me, senior, is the fact that they say we're actually giving a prize for who dress good. So the incentive to the convention is not about the being satisfying, senior. Is about how you go entice people to continue to hoodwink and fool them.
That is an old talent, you know.
Yeah.
Remember when the individual in La Poterie had a topless dance?
Mm-hmm.
Place full up, topless dance. Only to realize hurricane take out the whole roof.
So ask the question.
And you remember in Pigpen, they had a party for the shortest clothes. The whole place full up,
Yes.
And a girl just tell me she go in Montreach, bad shot dance. So the NDC give it a prize for what?
Best dress.
Best dress.
And the party in Paul's for the short clothes.
And I know that
the place full up, not with short clothes people, with people who are going to see.
Who see short clothes.
Before short clothes people reach, the place full already.
The place full. They have to make way for short clothes people to come. So the NEC having, when they say best dress, not man they're talking about,
No.
Not man. Woman they're talking about best dress. In the convention.
But senior, on a serious...
They don't want them come with much clothes. They say the economy tight.
On a serious note, senior, ask the question again.
NDC members, do you agree with the actions of NDC?
So
are you comfortable?
Let me itemize the thing, senior. NDC supporters, are you comfortable with the new pension scheme by the government? Because, when you're playing all fools, they talk about chump. You're a chump card. Because the chump card for the National Democratic Congress was we go pay pension even though we had to borrow the money to pay. When the other side say, boy, if you pay the pension as is, it could bankrupt the place. They say, nah, the men them lying, they around for 23 years. They came into office and your good friend, the Attorney General Senior, said, watch, the IMF warned us. Irreparable damage. And within 2.5 years, based on the fact that government intends to borrow almost $1 billion to finance the budget, all our fears are realized, senior. So what's the question again, senior? I like the question.
NDC members, NDC politicos, NDC activists, NDC sympathizers, are you comfortable? Do you agree with the actions of the National Democratic Congress? The pension, they have a pension scheme. They say they go pay the pension. They say they pay the pension. Do you agree with the pension scheme? They say it's a susu. They say 3%. Do you agree? I say this pension system go bust and the government contaminated the judiciary. In other words, they attempted to bribe the judiciary. I believe the judiciary must disown this overture that have been made to them because it's a contaminant. It's a sad day in a country when a government decides to put SOP in front of the judiciary. They law the judiciary by trying to contaminate them. There seems that the pension system go bust, so the judiciary don't have to pay. Everybody else have to pay than the judiciary. Do you agree with that? The politicos and the apologists of the National Democratic Congress and the hoodlums who are on social media trying to speak good language and bully ordinary people. Are you comfortable? Do you agree with these issues? We must ask you, because if you are a strong supporter of a political party, you must defend the political party.
Now, in the pension again, ask them, what's the question, senior? I like the question.
Do NDC members, we don't ask it NNP and NP Shimon. NDC members, do you agree with the NDC?
Do you agree with the pension scheme that persons will take home less money because of the obligation? Those below $5,000, 3% obligation, and those over 5,000, 6% obligation. Do you agree that the board of trustees in the pension is credible because we know what happened with GDB? So with the people money, do you agree that the board of trustees will look at the people's business and not their own? Because if that happened in GDB, senior, what go happen with this also?
They raid GDB, you know. What the government did there, if was I individually trying them, you know, and judge 1,000 years, will I give them 40 years in prison. They flaunt the law or the regulation that was set up by Uncle Gary in 1973. You know. No government post 73 tamper with this regulation.
But senior, I want you to explain this thing for me. And the same pension, because we are asking them if they agree. Now, how much percent you pay to NIS senior?
Right now we're paying about 13%, 6 and 7. But when it started, it was 9%.
Yeah, so 13
5 and 4. The employer was paying 5 and the employee was paying 4.
And then
NIS say that is not sustainable, they go, boss.
Yes.
So NIS raised the contribution to I think 6 and 7. And
So,
you raise it again, you know.
Wait.
And they raise it.
Stick up in there. So NIS, which been around since
Lionel Connell.
Since
1983.
Say
it is not sustainable.
5% at the time is not sustainable. But the NDC say 3%.
And this group new political neophytes.
But what that does, senior, after you pay your percentage to NIS, which is a mandatory payment, you have another payment of 3%.
Well, we have to ask people.
And how the thing set up to me is a susu. Because you could take back your money after 5 years.
When somebody holding susu and the individual corrupt does bad spend money. So that when it's susu and you don't get money.
So senior, the question is, somebody lives with 65 years and they retire. You could get back all your money after 5 years. So when you're 70 years, what happens to you? So they don't intend for people to live that long.
And the government has to give you some seed program. If you is an NDC.
So ask the NDC people if they're satisfied with this thing.
NDC members, do you agree? And I don't ask it NNP members. NP don't agree. NDC members, could you defend this issue?
Do you agree? Then the Constitution says, senior, anybody appointed by the Public Service Commission is entitled to pension and gratuity under the 1958 laws. So are we to believe with this new scheme that Public Service Commission refuse to appoint any person to the public service? So I want NDC to answer that question for me if they're satisfied.
Are you comfortable with it? Are you satisfied? Do you agree with these things? We said about GDB Bank. Do you agree that the government flaunt the laws? They break the law. When we say flaunt, they break the law in the GDB Bank. And they take millions of dollars for ministers, directors, and some of the ministers and directors' friends. Do you agree with that? Since 1973, these laws was passed to help to close the door to corruption. Man is weak. And when man see money, food, and woman, they lose all the sense. They close the door to corruption. They say no. Yes, the politicians are poor people, so they could qualify. The directors are poor people. But the worst thing to do is to tempt the poor. So we close the door. You know, when they say the Our Father, they say, lead us not into temptation.
Mhm.
They didn't say tempt us and help us pass. Imagine you see a beautiful woman going on the road. You say, Lord, lead me into temptation. You're in jail or no?
It's like they're saying, forgive me for the sins I'm about to
commit. So they close the door to corruption. They say if you want to be a director on the board, a minister, and the immediate family, no loan for you in GDB Bank.
But
that might sound unfair because all of us poor. But they say we don't want to corrupt. So if you as a minister, you don't go there to satisfy yourself. You go to seek the interests of people. All other governments realize the sanctity of this regulation and this law. The NDC flaunt the law. Take millions of dollars from it.
But
NDC members.
But
do you agree?
Senior, we had a recent memories of Clico and Baiko, where people lose their money.
Millions of dollars.
So you're talking about trustees here. We don't know because they go give their friends.
But the manner in which they did it, they say.
So the most fractious motivational speaker might end up on.
And so then the Prince of Hate is.
The Prince of Hate might end up as a trustee.
And so he chooses.
And how they just single out perceive NNP for punishment when they see and they perceive your name and they see you, they might say, well, okay, we could take that person funds and do whatever. What guarantee does it have?
But even when they
ask the question, aren't you to ask them about
NDC,
that again?
What guarantee you have? The politicos, Cousin Danley, Ali Hadim, what guarantee you have? Because the government appoint all the members of the board. They said in consultation with. They didn't say the union is going to send a representative. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. Yeah, we want to hear you. In particular, we want to know if you agree.
Yes,
if you agree with these things. Yeah?
Yes, are you hearing me clearly now? Are you hearing me clearly now?
I'm hearing you better.
Okay. The internet may be giving a little trouble.
I don't know if you put the device closer to your mouth.
Yes. Very interested program, Morning Master Carl and
there you go.
Very interested program. I listened to that same new pension scheme in Parliament, and some of the clauses in that. One of the clauses say that you have people are supposed to be confidential, and if they're not confidential, if they break any leak out information or whatever about that bill, about the finances and every other thing, there is consequences, heavy consequences to it. But I wonder if they put any clause for any whistleblower, if they have any whistleblower to protect that worker for anybody who tampering with these people's fund. So any worker could come out now and expose them so they could have a whistleblower to protect that worker as well. Because look what went on with GDB Bank. Look what went on with Clico and
Baiko
and kind of a thing. Whatever it is, you know. So, and the public need to know. So therefore, they could squander that money. Because up to now, we don't know. They're taking all the people's money, and we're going to. Who are the people that is there? The trustees that are there. You know, where is the institution? Who is which is under NIS? Under where? Nobody knows where. So these are the things the administrator need to come out and tell us. Yeah, we have to know. They have to be transparent with the people's money. Otherwise, that them people money could be going down the drain. You know, this I see down there, and this just run into my mind. So I just say, let me just speak about that. But very wonderful program, very interesting topic, very, very triggering. Thank you, guys. Have a pleasant day.
We have to ask this question. Money is involved. You take in the public money. The question is, are you comfortable with it? Who are the trustees? The method you use to obtain trustees alone is corrupt. It means that the union, you could name somebody and say that is the union representative. Now, how that could be right? Or is this thing under MIT?
Yeah, not MIT.
Is it Mr. Andy charge of that? Where you can put all this money on Andy? Based upon his track record, you tempting the young man too much. He want to go good, you know. You could see him making a genuine attempt to go good. But you can't tempt him. So NDC members, we you know, it's not a laughing matter, but we don't want to raise with pressure. So we just want to ask you kindly.
Section 3.
And we don't want you to get vexed.
Section 3 of the bill, subsection 2, subsection B. This provision of this act shall not apply to employees of the government who are currently employed in the public service for a period exceeding 15 years and are 50 years of age and older. Discrimination. So ask them if they satisfy with discriminating against workers.
NDC, politicos, Cousin Danley, Ali Hadim, are you agree? Brother Blash, do you agree with that? Are you comfortable with that? Could you stand up and defend it? Could you stand up in front of the audience and in front of your own children and explain to them? Do you agree? You know, we have to know. Don't get vexed and use obscenities and attack us personally.
Sections. And here how this thing so callous and vindictive. Where does you use the word? Draconian.
Well, Deacon that say passing draconian line.
Section 6.3 senior.
Bad law.
Section 6.3c. Basically, if you qualify under the 1958 input and you want to join this thing, you have to give it up.
You have to give up 58.
You have to give up where you don't paying to one where you paying, but you don't make no sense.
Well, you have to be stupid twice.
So ask them that question again, senior.
Do you agree with that? Do you agree that should be a part, an addendum of the agreement?
Because when we come here, we come in here. A public officer, teacher, police officer, or prison officer who is so employed on the date of operation of this act and eligible to receive a pension, gratuity, or other allowance in accordance with the provision of any of the relevant enactment may in the prescribed manner within 12 months after the date of operation of this act opt to become a member of the scheme by completing registration in the prescribed manner, and such option, once exercised and approved by the board, shall not be rescinded, and therefore the provision of the relevant enactment shall no longer apply to the public officer, teacher, police officer, prison officer in relation to the payment of pension and gratuities otherwise. So, you don't pay and you qualify for pension and gratuity. When you get well, it's not gratuity, a forward loan, which you pay back in 12 and a half years. So that means if you leave 12 and a half years after you retire, you still getting money, senior. And after 12 and a half years, you're getting more because you go repay the gratuity. But if you want to join the scheme where you put in 3% of your salary, and let me look at it, 3% of your salary, because most persons don't work in for more than $5,000. So 3%. And they say within 5 years, you could withdraw the money, you could take it in a lump sum and thing. So what happens? So how you expect a man or woman, senior, ask them if they're comfortable to give up a lifetime pension to pay 3% of the salary.
My brother Blash.
Because it's
Do you
lotto.
agree with that?
It's like
Do you agree?
It's like a game of chance.
That is what drug people, coke people, you know.
Well, you have to be.
You see a man there on coke. They say, well, brother, you have $10,000 to get, but you have to wait for tomorrow. Oh God, give me $5. Give me the $5. So he take the money because he want a fix now.
And senior, why there is two rates? If you're working for more than 5,000, you're paying 6%. If you're working for less than 5,000, you're paying 3%. What is the discriminatory practices?
What is the rationale?
It is pension.
What is the justification?
So ask them again, senior.
Do you agree? The question is, we want to know if you agree. Because you're angry when you're asking you. All we want is a discussion. We provoke discussion. We want to know if you're comfortable with this. You know, we views on the NDC is not so good. We doesn't make joke, we say it. But you're taking issue with us. But when we ask you to defend situation, to advance rationale and justification and reasons, you're cussing people. Do you agree? Scholars say you don't agree. Scholars say
You agree?
they tell scholar 50,000 and then they give him 15, you know.
You don't agree?
I mean, you could tell me an ordinary rustic like that, not Dr. Scholar. Dr. Scholar must know the difference between 15 and 50. And the man is a professor in language too.
Well, listen this thing, senior. All the confusion about pension happened, and the union knows that, because they preferring and now mud coming and they crying, was the fact of gratuity. The former administration say, watch, when we understand this pension thing and the cost and everything, let me combine it with NIS and government and give you 70% of your last salary. Pronto, without you contributing anything. They say, no, we want gratuity. And daily matter reach this stage. And all the reasons the last administration gave for pension, your good friend, the one like rainfall and she get when I should get your ask about me thing about the people in Carrico. See what?
She get an orgasmic
See, the IMF warn us, they tell us if we go down that road, it's a problem. That, and when NMP say that, they say NMP lie. But here is section 50. A member, 51, a member who retires on attaining normal retirement age shall be entitled to a lump sum of cash payment of up to 25% of the combined amount contained in the member's contribution account, the employer contribution account, and the past service credit account. So if any, that is the point to note. If any, the remaining amount shall be available to the member in A, monthly or quarterly installment or withdrawal over a minimum period of 4 years. B, a monthly annuity for life purchase of life insurance in a company selected by the member. So there's no guarantee in these things. So I want you to ask them that question again for me.
The thing of boss, you agree with that? And the judiciary and a first the mastermind of it bad-minded. He take out the judiciary.
50 subsection 4 say, where the amount remaining after payment under section 1, that we could get the 25%, is less than $24,000. The member may withdraw the balance at the member's discretion. And in a prior program, when we check the 3%, is out $23,000 if a man have a particular retirement. So what they say, they know you don't have no money, you know.
The boss,
you hear that?
The boss.
The remaining, you hear?
People are stuck.
So ask them that question again for me.
Alice, you satisfied? Ali had him. You satisfied with that? How you could have a government that's supposed to seek people's interests doing that to people? I mean, come on. And when we speak, you angry, you upset, you attacking us personally. You go in with closet to see we rample clothes. You know? Do you agree? If you're going to defend a party and the government have a policy, you must be able to advance rational justification, reasons why you think that policy could stand. You vex, you hide in your face, you can't defend. So that is why we have to ask, are you comfortable?
Another question I want you to ask them, senior, is about the budget.
Do you agree that we have the budget 3 months late? First thing. Do you agree that we have to get 3/4 of the budget to get the budget?
I want you to ask them this question through you, senior. Should we trust the National Democratic Congress
Where you go trust it?
to borrow $725 million, $750 million, when they cannot even account for $22 million for the independence? So they cannot account for $22 million. Because the group say if you thrifty and you're a good steward,
they'll give you more.
They will give you more. You cannot account for $22 million for independence. All kind of rigmarole, fly by night, forfeit. But now you want us to agree with you.
NDC members, NDC apologists, do you trust the government after they squander 500 million immediately? They dance, they whine, they say, quickly 500 million.
But what is
100 million from Saudi Arabia? They blow that.
But point to note, senior, every time you ask one of the politicos of the National Democratic Congress about the $22 million, they say about the June.
The June cost a few $100,000.
No, you have to cost $22 million because that's the only thing they could tell you, senior, for $22 million.
June?
Every time you ask them, but how the money spent on a man saying, hey, well, you didn't see that June buy? So if you take $22 million and the only thing you could talk about the June, should we trust you to borrow $725
How you go trust NDC?
million?
NDC members, how you go trust NDC?
And even if you give them a pass on that, because you know, for argument's sake, senior, can the nation trust the National Democratic Congress to deliver on the promises, projects, promises, and I go through some of them, you know. So if the NDC decide to borrow $725 million,
plus,
I know you just stay here, senior. The fact that they have to borrow all that money, old people used to say, I think, what a salt.
What a salt.
Sand done. So, does it mean, or where, or how, or from whom, or that was that the reason Dangote was down here? For the independence,
sugar daddy come
to see what's going on, to see what he could take back for the 700 million? Senior, you need to ask these people this question.
Do you agree? 700 million. Well, not that alone. The Prime Minister bring them Dangote, and Dangote look at the man sugar daddy, and you have a cameraman. So going around him and snapping.
So when we
talk, do you agree with that?
When we talk, we doesn't just come here and say what we feel.
When we speak with them,
so you compare the expenditures from 2022 to 2024. 2022, $23.35 million we get from the CDB and the World Bank loan. Grants was $136.8 million. And from the Treasury, we get 200 million. Because remember, that was the transition. 2023. 42.5 loan from the CDB and World Bank. Grants fell to $54.5 million. Water start to get salt already. I don't know if it was tsunami that pulled back the water. And then in the Treasury was $296.2 million. Total approved $293 million. For the 2022, $360.5 million. 2024, 56.55 from the CDB and World Banking loan, grants $104.6 million, and from the Treasury, $258.4 million, a total of 419.5. But here, senior, majority of the grants obtained in 2022 came under the NTF, the National Transformation Fund, which is aligned to CBI. And they boasting how much NTF was reduced and depleted in 2023. And they changed it to the non-revenue tax. That's what these fellas and I'm doing. So ask the people any question again.
Do you agree? Are you comfortable with the NDC actions? Those actions don't easy to stomach.
In 2024,
So asking, are you agree?
main sources of funds was from the Green Climate Fund, which include NASA lines, upgrade and storage tank, etc. Infrastructure, 26.9 total, creative economy 20. Minus infrastructure went minus. After they have a minister of infrastructure and they have one, what they call it, implementation in pipeline,
Restorative justice.
Velcro, Grizan, infrastructure minus 26.9%. The creative economy, how they call it, Orlando and them,
Orlando.
they say them was the best things in sliced bread. But when they put them to the test, they empty like Mehi. You know what people say? Senior, the creative economy minus 25.5%. Well, health.
Well,
And what is interesting to note, the Minister of Health agreed the other day that health worse than when they come.
say hell,
You could give me? Really, people hear what he's saying.
the Minister of Health in Health.
Yeah.
The Minister of Health in Health. He believe health is worse off than when the
Because this National
Do you
Democratic,
agree with that?
this National Democratic Congress, the reason I'm asking this question about could we trust them with that money? Because that's the most promising government you have in Grenada, you know. And I will tell you why I say that. You ready for me, kids? When you're ready, just let me know. They promise health care. Remember the teaching hospital? What happened? What happened, senior?
People dying, can buy medicine.
Carlton
can
House.
doctor.
They promise all that infrastructure, you know.
And they got some money from credit cooperative bank with some millions of dollars.
Let us see how the health minister say.
On the road ahead, because I know at the end of it, there is going to be some rejoicing. The process is painful. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. It has
Stop it right there. Don't go further.
It's a fact.
Philip Telesford, the minister will agree healthcare is worse off than when they come into office. And they say most in here. And they say now, Chinya, the problem I'm having is they say the $725+ million is for infrastructure. But since they come in 2022, they're promising medical teaching hospital, Carlton House, upgrade of health facilities, Grenada Educational Enhancement Program, expanding facilities to enhance teaching. We don't see that yet. Renovation and extension program, making schools comfortable and safe for students and teachers. We don't see that yet. Re-imaging the Imani program, that don't happen yet. Public library modernization project, that don't happen yet. Provision of coding training for students, that don't happen yet. Health start nutrition program, and we know all about the school feeding program. We know all about the problem, social, climate, smart agriculture, and rural enterprise. That's the same one where you take the chalk and them night.
Mango.
Yeah, the chalk when you take the chuck and go and pick fruits. improve livelihoods through job creation, business startup, and smarter BNTF projects, Grenada Spotlight Initiative, project aimed at ending family violence against women and girls, that don't happen yet. Community mobilization program, local revenue streams development on a parish needs basis, that don't happen yet. Grenada home improvement, well, we know all about the house and them. They taking one picture and post it like it's a lot of house. But somebody found them out. They go in and others do the thing on social media again. They photoshopping. They Photoshop in the background on with one house. And they found out. And then burial come on them senior and open the place like book. Transformation. Agricultural feeder roads. When last was the agricultural feeder road done? The Prime Minister just come and he gonna plant one spice tree. What happened to that project, senior?
Do you agree with the actions of the National Democratic Congress?
Food security enhancement project aim to reduce the cost of local produce. Senior, you is a man in the business. Talk to me on that.
Do you agree with the action of the government on the Croton scale insect in Saucer? Do you agree why the government is refusing to have a meeting with the Saucer exporters? Agriculture we're speaking about. Do you agree with what the government did with Grand Bay Estate? When they came, they fired 31 workers. After that, they bring back 20. We heard 19 was NDC. I don't know if the next one declares it. Do you agree with how the government decree MNIB marketing board? And up to now, we're waiting for the truck.
They twaka say it, man. OECS Regional Agriculture Competitive Project improve and sustain access to markets by small-scale farmers and fisher folks. We're waiting on that still. Creative and Culture Industries Development Fund support the creative economy and develop creative. One set of people in the creative economy, they buying estate, they doing all kind of shit. So we don't see that yet. Infrastructure and disaster management. What happened with the Cliff Road?
Before we go to Cliff Road, I have to ask.
Yes.
About the creative economy.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers, cultural czars in the country. Do you agree with what the government doing with the creative economy? If you're going to speak about creative economy, then teachers must be giving it a thumbs up because it's supposed to be in the school. Why you want about Cliff Road? They have money for that?
Because they say a man get 100,000 as a grease hand, and then the thing no working. The Springs Woodlands to Upper Woburn Monjalo Junction. What going on with that?
Do you agree that the implementation minister is so busy with housing? Take the job for the Ministry of Housing. I've never
the
seen
sweet spot.
Sad.
The
Sweet spot.
The Stony Gut.
Sweet spot.
The Stony Gut. Climate Resilient Housing Project. Construction of 500 modern quality homes. Because you have one house Photoshop in the background.
And they go tell the people in the diaspora.
But how could you?
They telling them diaspora people in the diaspora. Some of you.
The Chinese houses.
They lying down every spot, you know. You're taking pictures and says.
You want to call GRIP. Grenada Resilience Improvement Project. We're waiting on that. We go to climate resilience.
You notice before you go, they promise to build 500 houses per parish.
Yes.
Well, when I multiply 7 by 5, I get in 35.
Yeah.
I get in 3,500 houses.
Yeah.
When they will be like, they say in a year, you know.
You say every year?
3,500 houses in a year. I mean,
climate resilience senior. Geothermic project. We don't see that yet. Solar PV battery hybrid project. Install solar. Well, we see at 2 street light solar.
Well, maybe that they talking about.
So, but we talk about Carrico, so somebody has to go in Limley, Carrico and report to us. Coastal study and protection designed for Shiso of Sortes Bay breakwater. Dennis
God for the
Cornwall.
breakwater, you know.
Dennis Cornwall.
Uh,
I know they call it the next one. Andal.
good people and
Joseph. Joseph Andal and Dennis Cornwall are calling on all you.
I make certain no.
Are calling on all
NDC
you.
agree.
The breakwater. Andal used to be all about making live. Go by 4 only. How come you don't making live now? Joseph.
The battery done.
Joseph, what going on? You and Dennis.
Do you agree? So much in 2.5 years is a threshold. That is the point when the questions must be asked.
So, the Grenville Flood Reduction Project. Now, when the sidewalks was being done, Larry Barry was on a program and he said it was a health hazard to the people. But Larry, nothing no happening. You know. Nothing no happen after that, Larry. What going on? And they say Larry might lose his position tomorrow.
Yes, it's
You see, you don't want
tomorrow
Larry.
or today.
Tomorrow Sunday.
Oh, tomorrow.
You see, they didn't want Christopher Columbus in Italy.
No, man.
They don't want him in the room, so you might have to go by Isabella and Ferdinand.
Isabel.
Yeah, they don't want him.
Christopher Columbus.
Well, what we so
He's
call
a damn blasted liar.
what we so call the debushing, and let me stick up in here.
No road.
Now,
You say you plant road, by the way.
the debushing
St. Vincent.
used to infuse
Serious
$6 million
economy.
every fortnight
Yeah.
into the economy of this country, disposable
Practically
income.
3 times a year, 6 for 6.
Because as Mr. Peters call them, people from the lower economic strata, when they get their money, it's not to go in the bank and put it.
They spend it.
They didn't eat fish long, they go buy a piece of fish. They didn't drink beer long, they go drink a 2 beer. They don't get girl long, they go pay a girl. Them girls and them go and do the nails, the hair, the eyelash.
They infuse serious
A lot of
money
people go by the Syrian and them
in the economy.
and thing. So everybody used to eat and the money circulate.
Mr.
Boss
T-Man
men
come
used to
and
make
say,
money.
they go eat a food, they go dead just now.
Village shops could have trust you because they know when fortnight come, you're getting money. They rebrand it. They say they rescope in it. And then, like, they put knife in the neck. Best transformation program. Program focusing on more environmentally sustainable practices and training comment to empower individuals. We're waiting on that still. Capital projects. Promising 2024 to be financed by the National Transformation Fund. Because, and why are bringing up this thing and them senior? They've been saying about this thing and them long and they getting money. But they asking for that 700 million now because they want to electioneer. Because the opposition forces that to understand what's going on. According to you, senior, they have to educate the people as to what's going on. That pure electioneering.
Well, I don't know whether it's electioneering this year, but the NDC have sticky.
Well, the process start.
Is it like they don't cook?
So they know
Every time they get a chance,
they know the thing's sticky. And they know they are accustomed to one thumb. So they're creating avenue for fellas to fool their boots. So when they get boot or they have. Now, I always saying, I grew up in a place in Pointsville and River and Twine Estate was on the boundary of Pointsville. But River and Twine had a lot of coconut. But when an ordinary man like me pass through the estate, they say I go and thief coconut. But the higher people, if they pass through this, they say they go and take.
Yeah, they take a coconut by the way.
So the higher people take, but the low hanging fruits like me thief. So let me bring it in that context. That's $725 million. He go have who go take, and he have who go thief. Believe you me, you know. So let me go through the project and them.
It's very
Project 500 senior. Cost $80 million. Well, they have one house photoshopping.
They will say it at 80 times.
The Grenada Home Improvement and Resilient Project. 50 million. That's been a recurring decimal from since they start. Lighting up the National Cricket Stadium, $1.1 million. We ain't seen nothing yet. Them swimming pool there to build.
We must ask this
The
question.
new market, even in Grenville and them. Remember, did you want to move the vendor by Kentucky there and so on and so on and so on? Coastal protection. Well, Sortes Bay, we still come back with the thing. 27 million.
They did work on it already?
I don't know. St. John's flood. When we say St. John's River, that River Road.
We have to remember that
where people lose all the vehicle and things the other day.
we have a lot of
No,
questions.
you have to give the people the information.
We
30 million. Nothing done yet.
do you
Because
agree
they
with
stopped
that?
it. Mount Kuma Road was done and completed by the past administration. The cliff, with 100,000 pass, 10% done and the project halted to financial concern because somebody take and somebody thief. Simon Cultural Center. When last you passed down the $25 million? See, you talk to me.
When I pass, I don't watch you told me
You are tunnel vision and pass like you are blind as on.
we asking the members of the National Democratic Congress in Simon, do you agree?
Construction of the new medical and teaching hospital, 30 million.
Are you comfortable with that?
Is a recurring decimal.
You see, the
National Health Insurance Project, 6 million. Let me stick up in here. Because they say they have to, what they doing with the hospital? Privatize.
Yeah.
And if you privatize, you're leaving out people. So what's all the people in the lower income?
The poor people get screwed.
And here what happens?
Simple and straightforward.
And then still, those who are doing a little work have to pay into the pension, the susu.
If your income is at the level based upon the government standard that you're not paying income tax, you get screwed.
Rehabilitation and upgrading of the financial complex, $16 million. What happened there? So we have concerns. So when all these things was promises and talk out, and money is already budgeted in previous budgets,
You think the NDC go?
how could we?
Master Carl,
How could we, senior, trust the National Democratic Congress to deliver?
if NDC
So
members,
the whole thing is set up to election,
if NDC
and
members,
to take.
if NDC members don't trust Congress, you expect me to trust them?
What?
They told Dr. Scholar it's 50,000 he getting, you know. They give him 50.
A man sing a song.
If he don't trust them, you want me to trust them?
A man sing a song in Trinidad, Chagdas. He say, Ramnat and Bass. They play in the fiddle fast. Alas. 10 of them playing the sheep. I don't rhyming. They play in the sheep. But the $725 million is aimed to make that 10 fellas get rich fast.
But we must
The 10 of them.
We until the end of the program now?
The
We have
10
time.
of them.
Master Call.
Senior, the
Master
10
Call.
of them.
Master Call.
Go get rich fast,
Master
senior.
Call.
With that $725 million get.
Master Call.
Ask the question.
When you asking question and NDC docking, when the apologists, the politicos, the minister running, Deacon gone hide under
So I don't know if it's Dangote they
Sugar
getting them.
daddy.
Because here, senior, be aware when they introduce the present Prime Minister, Glenn Noel said he was considered because he had connections,
deep pockets.
which is Dangote, and he had deep pocket, which is Dangote. So Dangote come here unprecedented and was the main speaker in Independence 51 years.
But then the man sugar daddy.
And then we hearing $725 million plus. And then they introduced Dangote to us as the richest black man.
Whether Dangote so at the Obayo Ungrisi, we time up.
What Dangote go want in response? So ask them the question before you go see.
Do you agree, NDC members? Do you agree that the Prime Minister must have a photographer spying on the women in Parliament? How low you going to go when you're spying on women? What the Prime Minister of Grenada, Deacon Amos Mitchell, doing with a photographer in a live environment in Parliament? What he doing with a photographer? It is not a lobster. It's not a Volkswagen. What he doing with a photographer? And as we come to the end of the program, we'll continue to ask questions. I think the good book say, knock and the door shall open. We knocking, if we break down the door, we break down the door. But you must answer questions. The NDC apologists and the NDC politicos, you must be prepared to provide justification. Defend you tough. Answer question. Subscribe to the program. Like it and share it. Even if you don't like us, we know we speak the truth. And we dare and we challenge. Thank you very much.